think that meant?
I just pictured him going behind a bush and saying all these swear words.
You pictured that, did you, in your little 3-year-old mind?
Yeah, and then he came back and he plastered it up.
He plastered it right up.
He was a plumber.
Yeah, I know.
What was he doing plastering
That must have been
for?
quite bad.
I got called a scab for doing less than that. What's he doing? Stepping on plasterer's toes, this plumber in your house?
Well, he had to. He's the one who made the
Did
hole.
it look right, or did he use copper and plumbing
It didn't look good.
material?
Was it a
There
big
was
load of pipes
for
sticking out?
years, until
Did
we
it look
moved
like
out.
the Tin Man's appendages?
Until we moved out, you could still see the hole. And
Did you?
I grew up looking up there thinking, oh yeah, that was the day the plumber
Thinking
fell through.
one day, I'll reach the heights, I'll be a radio star one day. And Trevor, you may yet achieve greatness. Not on this show, though, where you seem to be bound to mediocrity.
Well, bound to you anyway, aren't I?
Oh, you spiteful! Oh, hello!
Well, you bring
Oh.
everything down to sex, don't you?
It's
At
true.
the end
It
of the
doesn't
day.
bring down to sex, you go up to sex. That is the apex of existence.
No,
What
it isn't.
else is there,
It
Trevor?
isn't. It isn't. You live in an inverted triangle, you do.
I do not.
You do.
Don't you say I live in an inverted triangle.
I went to his house yesterday.
You've
and
confused the
It
monkey
was
with the angel.
nice, a lovely little terrace. An inverted triangle?
Yeah.
I'm not Whizbit. You get a grip. You better get a grip of yourself, young man. Oh dear. Look, what is it, Trev?
Look, I'm saying all animals have sexual intercourse, okay?
Yeah, with you, most of them.
But the angels don't. They're asexual.
Probably for the simple
The angels
reason
are
there aren't
asexual.
any angels.
There aren't any angels.
The angels are asexual.
William Blake saw angels in a tree in
Yeah, he was
Peckham.
on drugs.
He wasn't
was a
on
drug
drugs. He was
addict,
6 years old.
Well, more's the pity. He should have waited till he was 12. William Blake, mate, is not he's a poet genius and everything.
Exactly.
It's not like he's just keeping a log of things he sees. Went down to Peckham Rye earlier. Trees are full of angels. He's a poet. He's the last person you can trust.
He was a child then. He wasn't a poet then. That was not a poetic.
He was a child poet.
He wasn't.
Of course he was. He wrote Twinkle
He had
Twinkle
visions
Little
when he
Star.
was
He's
a
done
child.
this.
Crying out loud. He
Trevor,
didn't start-
if you let a poet, visionary, but get involved in the world of pragmatism, what happens is Nazi Germany. Hitler was an artist who rose to power, and what happens is people get killed, Trevor.
Don't bring Hitler back into
I
this.
will bring Hitler into this.
That is. I mean, is that
I
why? That's
will
why you're
bring
a
him in.
vegetarian, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah, I
not.
don't remember
It
last
is
time.
animals.
What would Hitler do in this situation?
He would eat the vegetarian
What
option.
would Hitler do if he was off work for a few weeks and needed an excuse? I will do the AIDS lie.
Have you ever seen Hitler's paintings?
Yeah, they're alright, aren't they?
Oh,
Although what he'd
please.
done was bad, not his paintings.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying his paintings.
I know,
odd.
I'm just saying,
Like,
there's someone listening to this and thinking, well, that Holocaust was a bit out of order. Do you know what I mean? I thought, qualify that,
yeah.
make sure people
but
know.
the paintings of horses and stuff.
They're fine. Fine. It's okay to do a paint of a horse, just don't do an Holocaust.
Yeah, that's
Horses,
what I
yes,
live by that.
Holocaust, no. None more. Right, okay, should we listen to Michael Jackson when he were a lad himself, eh? Before all the nonsense, and then brothers of his. What?
Just imagine that.
Yeah,
Him
imagine
being
it.
a lad.
Nice, wasn't he? He was a lovely
Looking
little
all
lad.
normal.
You could
Lovely
see
lad.
him embodying genius as a child. If you've seen that footage of him in black and white, all dancing around just before, you just think,
And
you just
joy.
think, blimey, he embodies genius.
It was joy, wasn't
Close,
it?
isn't it? What's the matter, Trev?
Nothing's the matter.
It
mate.
brings joy, you say.
I'm just saying it was embodying
Joyful.
joy.
Yes,
It was
very
joyful.
much.
Have you heard of Michael Jackson, Trev?
Oh yeah, of course I have. I'm a big fan of him.
Popular singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him.
Trevor, you dwell in Neverland psychologically. Yeah, well, Peter, Bjorn and John with their record, what goes called Young Folks, is called that. Before that was the news, which you may have noticed was interrupted, I believe, by the Paddingtons. That is because Trevor Locke strayed into the buttons area of the studio and started tampering with them. Trevor said, "We don't need news, things that have just happened do not interest me," and said, "I'll rather listen to one of my hit LPs."
No, it was an experiment. I wanted to put a bed of music underneath the news. I didn't mean to drown it out completely.
It's a terrible way to conduct yourself, may I say,
Never
Trev.
touch my buttons again, Trev.
Don't touch boys'
All my
buttons.
women.
Or girlfriends!
What about your fly buttons, Matthew?
Oh, crikey.
Especially those.
Here, we now have got some good email. Trevor just got a text message on his phone saying, "Eat your fudge, turn your phone off." So people out there have just got Trev's phone number.
I gave it out on air once, and now, you know.
He gets things like that. Trevor, you look like you look all pale and hyperglycemic. Perhaps you ought to eat some sugar in some form. What form, perhaps, do you think?
Fudge.
Fudge! Eat some fudge, Trev! Don't you be sarcastic, you little.
You couldn't even think of a thing that I was.
I could think of about 9, but they would all have got me sacked. Dear gang, says Andy Grimes from Leighton Buzzard. That's good to be called Andy Grimes. I like that.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Because that's that bloke out of The Simpsons.
He should have a gang. Andy Grimes gang.
Andy Grimes, I've got a good gang. Hear the song that we all sang. Andy Grimes, stop So, dear gang, says Andy Grimes, I lived in a shared house for 3 years and I had to live in the box room. It was so small that I once had to ask my housemate to leave the room because I wanted to open the wardrobe. But what was in the wardrobe, Andy? Be honest. Also, it had spongy textured wallpaper so blue tack wouldn't stick to it. I know that wallpaper.
Oh, yeah, that's
Annoying. And then it was a
drawing
little
pins.
greasy, like little mark where the blue tack had been.
Oh, God.
Other blue sticky things are available. Most of them come out of Trevor.
That's not true, though.
And my ocean, yes, they are. There's Bostik do one. Other glues are available.
Well,
Don't
apart
use them
from
for
those two,
wrong.
they're just
Don't
not
use them
like
for Trev's evil, vile, recreational
Blue
uses.
tag, that's not a brand name anymore. That's
It is blue tag.
That's
is a
like
brand name.
Hoover, it's just ubiquitous.
It's ubiquitous. Yeah, but blue tack, it puts them in an advantageous position.
Yeah.
Against what?
It's success.
Bosto tack. That's what. And red glob. And yellow sticky things. Right, so this fella, anyway, he couldn't, Andy, and the Grams, he couldn't stick things to his wall because of that daft wallpaper of his, and his ocean colour scene poster would always fall on his head and startle me when I was asleep, he says. It is startling if something falls on your head when you're asleep.
Yeah, once a bookshelf fell on me when I was asleep and I woke up screaming.
I don't blame it, Trevor, after the abominable crimes you've done against literature. What about when we were in the flotation tanks and he was going, I was in bliss! Me, Matt and Trevor on a flotation tank. Trevor goes, I was in bliss, and a water jet sprayed in my face as if he'd been sexually abused by that flotation tank.
Well,
Bless him.
in a manner of speaking.
Do you remember when you lived above a church
Yeah, good, wasn't it?
and the bag fell on that man?
Yeah, that was what happened, Matt. We were watching the football on the telly when it was England v Greece.
Yeah. No, was it football? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Because Andy was there. We were watching
yeah.
football, and we ordered a pizza.
We lived high up in a church.
High up, we
converted
couldn't be
church.
bothered
You
to
lived in
go
a church?
It'd been converted.
Oh, right.
above a church. There was still a church there, wasn't there?
No, they turned that into a pub.
How would they?
They call it progress.
Oh, God.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
God's house.
God's house! Jesus drove the thieves out of the temple! Go on then, Matthew.
And we ordered a pizza, but we couldn't be bothered to go downstairs. So when the man arrived, we just went. We had like a sports bag and a load. What did we have? Loads of like a washing line string.
Yeah, we like goes. Yeah, we'll put the money
We
in
just
this
shut it
bag.
down. We put the money in
load
the
it
front
down
pocket, lowered it down to the street, like about 3 or 4 stories.
God, what were you afraid of? The plague?
We couldn't. I don't
Didn't
think it
wanna
was a
go
bit
down
like
there.
that. I think we
with
just.
that bloke.
But we couldn't be bothered to go down there,
see,
so we
right.
said it was fun as well. So we loaded the bag
was
down,
fun.
and we said put the pizza in there. It took him a while to go along with it. And he
Yeah.
put the but what we didn't count on was you get a free 2-litre bottle of Coke
Yeah.
or other drinks.
drinks are available.
Too heavy.
He put it in there. We got it about 3/4 of the way up, and he was standing there. And then he got into the idea when he saw it sailing above
Sailing
him.
up, swinging, eh?
He was sort of smiling.
Experiment.
Then it broke and fell on him.
on his little head.
Really-
All came
really
back.
hard, like-
what go up must come down.
You know when someone like sort of staggers, like walks around like holding his head, all confused, and then we had to go down.
Yeah,
and
waste
just
of time.
do it with our legs.
Oh,
Yeah.
we were sickened we were by that leg
You
work.
got an anecdote out of it.
It was funny.
What
though.
are you saying? We've got an anecdote out of it.
That's
what
what I
did he
said.
get though? Brain damage, poor sod.
He's got an anecdote as well.
Hello, Russ, if he can ever tell it again after the damage he sustained, it would just be a load of stammering nonsense. Hello, Russ, Matt and Cocky, says Stuart. Many moons ago, I used to share a flat with a gay woman couple. That's a weird way of phrasing that, isn't it? A gay
Lesbians.
woman couple. They're gay woman couple! I think it is. It's called Stuart. What's the problem? Gay woman couple! They used to nick my boxer shorts when they were out of clean underwear and always tried to get off with and nick any girlfriends I would bring back. That's good, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
a bit like old Trev.
Trevor. And Trevor does pretend to be a lesbian on his MySpace page.
All
dear,
making
oh,
sense.
All adds up. By the way, feel free to drop in before your Cheltenham gig, says Stuart. All right, we'll pop in. Me and Trill, we're touring the country. Matt, you'll be coming as well because we're doing our radio show.
Are we doing Cheltenham, are we?
Yeah, I think so, I don't know. Morning, men! I've been living in a caravan with my wife and mother-in-law, who announced she needed bigger shoes to stop her falling over. In a caravan from France, from Pete. That's from Pete.
Do you think the caravan's mobile then?
Yeah, and I think probably she thinks if I have like snow boots on
I
or them
won't fall
tennis
over.
rackets Eskimos have, then she'll better like, stay balanced all the time.
What a bizarre lifestyle.
What that's Pete the bedroom man, I think. Unless
is
there's
it?
someone else called Pete. Oh yeah, it's a popular name. Here's another one from Nicola in Birmingham. She goes, "Hi Russell. I lived above a pub and worked in it for a couple of years during the 90s and during Euro 96. It was the best years of my life. Sometimes I didn't leave that place for a couple of weeks. I picked the music on the jukebox, stole beer and fags from the bar, and had the key to the pool table. I was single and used to lure boys back to my pub after hours and beat them at pool. Interesting. I used to take loads of drugs as well and left eventually as I thought I was going to kill myself. Nicola from Birmingham. Nice one, Nicola.
Well, the best years of her life, and then she was going to kill herself.
It's odd, isn't it?
Do you reckon
Perhaps it's because of their demise.
Or she realised, these were the best years. What you and she didn't.
Might as well kill myself now. It's never going to be this good again.
Yeah.
Like, I used to live above that pub.
Yeah.
Oh man, Matthew always takes a mick at this because
When he was in rehab, he had to write his life story in an exercise book for an exercise.
Yeah, because I was ultra.
But I think we've mentioned this before, but because it's him, he wrote it as if it was being read by one man.
One man's struggle against drugs.
And it was like, everything had been written to be read out to make him look cool.
It was meant to be saving me from drug addiction.
Yeah, every single thing. It was at this point, there's a load of cliches. Yeah.
So at this point I realised I was different to other people.
Say things like that.
He said things like that. And there was one bit, it goes,
I lived above a pub.
it was in that voice, it was ridiculous. I think I actually took the mickey out of it.
He did. While I was up there, I've been off drugs about a week, dying. Matt come read my life story
I
out.
got drunk, read his life story out, the whole thing.
Then slept in the same bed as me, so got harping on about girls in London while I was up there shivering away in my little drug hellhole, all clucking and taking Subutex.
It's funny, he goes,
Every morning I'd walk through the bar to leave to go to college, and I'd just make a drink from all the drinks that were there, just a crazy cocktail. I'd drink that and I'd be on the
Sometimes
way.
the drink weren't even very nice. I just drank it down in a way.
I just knocked it back and left. Sometimes I didn't even check the door was locked.
Once I left without trousers on.
yeah, and then it goes,
It was at this.
this is ridiculous.
It was around this time that a mouse lived in my hair.
A mouse did live in my hair. Elvis the mouse. He liked it there.
It never
Nice to have a
did.
mouse.
You
Right?
had a mouse live in your
Yeah,
hair?
he did, right? I was doing a part in this sort of, I don't know, Jacobean play or something, playing some villain. And I thought, oh, because if he had a mouse living in his hair, that would get me attention around the drama
How'd
school.
you make it live there?
You just put it there and make bloody well damn sure it's not got access to any way out of your head.
Did you hurt its legs to stop it moving?
No, its legs were free to
Did it have a
move.
safety pin for its waist?
Oh yes, he did have a little pinny waist. He had his little pin belt. Twist the pin belt, Elvis will behave. Jab the old pin belt, Elvis sleeping now. But Elvis the mouse, right? He used to poo and wee in my hair.
Well, that's not a surprise, is
They're
it?
incontinent mice, of course.
Well, no, they just don't really
Why
care
don't they have
about
more
where they go
manners
to the
than
toilet.
They are incontinent, aren't they? They were always
Poo
weeing.
and wee in your hair. So my hair was full of mouse poo and wee.
But
And then eventually Elvis the mouse just left to live his own life. He said that I was holding him back or something, right? And then it was funny because there were other mice living in the drama school and in a ballet
was he a
lesson.
wild mouse?
No, he was just a natural, normal guy. He was just
I
trying to
mean,
live
was
his
he a
life.
wild mouse? Was he a drinker? Was he Oliver Reed of the mouse world? I mean,
Right,
was he a...
okay, if I don't get some cheese, I'm going to punch this rent boy.
I mean, was it not from a pet shop?
Yeah, it was from a pet shop. Yeah, it was from a pet shop.
So what did he get? He went and lived with the wild mice.
He went and lived with the wild mice,
Where did
like
you meet
Mowgli in reverse.
Where did you meet this mouse?
I'd got him down a pet shop, I bored.
You went to a pet shop
Got
and
a
bought a
mouse.
mouse for your hair.
And then just put him in my hair. He goes, I'll have a mouse, please. Just
Did
one
you
mouse
try
for
a
the
few of
hair."
them out first in the mirror?
Some of them didn't suit, Trev. Some of those mice looked like bloody ridiculous in my hair. Looked like a silly beret. And then, they effed off to live with the other mice, right? And then someone, after some ballet class with a year below me, because they were ballet classes, I used to do them drunk. Some days I have my tights on backwards. I used to do, there's a ballet class. Someone, they come running out of the ballet room and goes, Russell, we've just seen Elvis, your mouse. And then someone goes, yeah, he looks like he's all been roughed up and that. And then he'd been living right well grubby and had all stains on him, and he was wearing a little leather waistcoat and had been corrupted by them other mice.
Oh.
I think he might have died soon after. Oh. Well, you don't
Elvis
know,
is
that
dead.
would be alright. Elvis is dead, apparently, poor fella. But, if you strain, you feel pain. That is the Elvis motto.
But you've got to admit, if you're reading someoone's life story and that was just thrown in.
It was around this time a mouse lived in my hair.
I know, I was just
sounds
trying to
like
make
madness.
myself... It's good for the other junkies to
Have you
realise...
still got
things
that
like
life story? I'd love
Yeah,
to.
I have. I've got the life story, and I've also got the recording of you being brutally insensitive to a man who had been off heroin for about 5 days.
What did you do?
I just ripped Mickey out of him.
Rip the Mickey, I rip the Mickey. Right, and then, what about that? Yeah, that was funny though when I lived above that pub. I used to, like, I was just loose in the pub, just used to drink all the drinks there, give drinks away to other people. Then this bloke called Tommy, King of the Gypsies, right, there's this,
Well, that's just bizarre, isn't it? It's like his life.
yeah, well, it is a little bit. There's this is a family, like, of all these sort of Irish travellers that had been, like, put onto council estates, and I don't think they wanted to be there because they were in a terrible mood.
I'd
They used to
change their
come in the
names if
pub.
I was you.
Huh?
I'd change their
Yeah.
names.
Dave! King of the Gypsies.